nobody in their right mind has ever done anything good on drugs, work-wise. I mean, I had, and this always comes up because of clockers. I mean, back in the early 80s, I got messed up on sniffing coke, just like any other idiot. I was making too much money. And it really wrecked me for a couple of years in many ways, writing being just one of the ways. And so in those 3 years, I don't think I wrote 2 sentences worth a nickel. But once I stopped doing, once I cleaned up and I started teaching in a rehab center in the Bronx, this Daytop Village, and crack was coming on the scene. It was, I don't know, a lot of people are too young to remember now, but like in the late 80s, crack was the most frightening word anybody ever heard. I mean, it was like, the essence of nihilism. It was a one word that was going to destroy everything in every city in America. And I was kind of haunted by that. And in fact, I was teaching kids that had been crackheads or had been dealing crack. And they were non-white, they were from broken homes, they were from, had some really awful histories, and they were doing a drug 10 times worse than the sniffing coke that I took. And they were doing it to cope, and it made me crazy. And so my own drug history sort of fueled me into sort of embracing, like how much worse it's gotten since I stopped. And at the same time, I started hanging out with cops to do Sea of Love, this police film. And I went to a housing project in Jersey City, and I'm from a projects, but I was gone from projects culture 1966. This is 20 plus years later, and that place was a tiger cage. I mean, it was devastating. It looked like Beyond Thunderdome. I mean, I couldn't imagine how anybody could live here. And I got so freaked out by it that I just moved towards it, like a bird to a snake. I just had to. So in the long run, my drug experience sort of fueled all this stuff that got me back into writing. I finally felt an urgency about wanting to write something, in a way that I didn't want to put it up for screenplay fiddling.